Hello. Today, as part of our Just Be series of talks, I want to talk to you about listening. I want to ask you, are you listening? And are you feeling heard? How do you know that you're listening well? How does the other person know that they're being listened to? And these are really important factors in a time when we're in confined spaces with restricted movement, don't have our usual outlets, as stresses can start to grow and differences of opinion can start to create problems. So I thought it would be a good topic to talk about and to give some suggestions and some knowledge about the physiological things that occur when you're listening, when a person is being listened to. So let's start with a few little factoids. First of all, did you know that when you're engaged in a conversation, two people, and they're really connected and really listening, and I think you probably all know what that might feel like, that real sense that somebody gets you. When that's happening, your brain waves are syncing. So this has been done through neuroscience experiments where people's brains have been being measured during conversation, and what they've found is that the brain waves sync to a similar level, and it's almost as if they're connected, and so that means you're connected, and that means that when you're being listened to, there's this real strong sense, visceral sense in the body of being understood. That's a really important part of listening and being heard, that you can actually have that embodied experience of being understood. And so in order to make sure that we're listening well, we need to take the time to actually put aside all of our agendas for the day and whatever it is that we want to get done next, and just sit, focus in and listen, and give yourself over to the listening. That means not coming up with answers, not coming up with solutions, not coming up with rebuttals. It means simply listening and hearing and trying to understand what that person is saying to you from their point of view, putting yourself in their shoes. And this creates a greater strength of connection and togetherness in a relationship. So it strengthens not just yourself, but your relationships. It also is important to understand that when a person speaks and has important things to say, that if they're not listened to, or if the words are devalidated, or if they get ignored, then that really harms the self as well. And it teaches the individual to not trust themselves, because the outside reflecting back in doesn't verify what they're saying. And it's important with our children, especially at this time, that we listen and we hear what they're saying in order to give them the right kind of reassurance in these difficult times, and make sure that our stresses aren't being passed on to them. And in our relationships, it's also really valuable to make sure that we're listening to each other properly and hearing each other well and putting ourselves in each other's shoes. Doesn't mean we have to agree, but it does mean we need to have heard each other. And so I would like to propose that today is a day that in the process of your just being, that you also listen and hear what's happening around you. And at the same time, take the opportunity to get outside and do your exercise and listen to what's going on outside also. And that's all I'm going to say today. So all I want you to think about now is be kind and be patient to yourselves and each other, and just be. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.